What is up, my friends? Getting into another live stream today. I stirred up some hot Twitter drama, so gonna have to be going through all that. Apparently, people love their JSON, and I also said it kind of spicily, so I wasn't entirely clear on what I meant. So there's some drama there, of course, to be had. Anyway, what am I doing? I am setting up my music so that we can build some cool stuff. So let me also set up my screen because sometimes I forget to do that. I don't want to be embarrassed and forget to do that again. That's my screen. Here's not my application. Where is it? Doot, doot, doot. Here's my application. I think I can close that and we can go here. There's the app that we're working on. And let me get my music set up so that I've got everything. Doop, 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 doop. Let me see. 1 second. Doop, doop, doop. What am I feeling? Lo-fi beats, chill, some other stuff. I don't think I want lo-fi. Let's try this one. See how we like this. Oh, more lo-fi. I need something a little more up tempo than this. Chip tunes are always good, but this one might be too much. Let's see. All right, let's start with this. I don't know, it's not really my thing. Maybe this one. Oh, okay. This will work. This I'm feeling. Still chill, but a different kind of chill. Okay, cool. We're getting into the show today. Hype. That's right. What do you think? This or the other one? The other one was kind of up there, right? But this is cool. I think this is good. A little bit jazzy, a little chill. Cool. Getting into the show. What do we got? What are we doing today? So we have our presets. I was pretty happy with the way that turned out. We have the file upload thing. Okay, before I forget, a couple things that I want to do here is I want to make sure that everything is built with accessibility in mind. And what we have is several images, or this page being built by several images. This sort of like one larger banner being created from a bunch of images. So there's the sort of mid-ground platform. Go away. Go away. There's this mid-ground platform. There's the opponent. There's the foreground platform. And then I guess the div is like the background image. So we're going to do this a little bit different. What am I going to do? I'm going to open up the app preview. And this is made up of, it would have been just easier if I just came here. This is made up of 1, 2, 3 images, and then the fourth one being this image background. So I'm going to adjust this. I'm going to create, and it doesn't really matter as long as one of these has the description that I'm looking for and the other ones have an empty alt text. It doesn't really matter which one has the alt text because just the main one is going to be the description one. But I think my OCD wants to do this a different way. So we're going to say that the image source for the background is this whatever thing. Yeah. And then this is going to have my source, my alt is going to be, let's see, super cool, no, super intense battle between two two what is it, well matched adversaries. Okay. That's going to be my alt, which means all of the rest of these can, oops, that needs the class, we can omit the alt text on. I'm going to move this class to the end. So we're going to go, for my sanity's purpose, source alt class, because in my opinion, that's like order of importance. Okay, so then this top image needs a class of background, right? And then we no longer need this. The div does need the width and height to be set because that's going to be the parent component sort of battle scene. And then what we'll do here is battle scene, let's see, midground opponent. So we're going to say the background, the midground, the opponent, and the foreground are all going to be position absolute. This is actually a silly way to do this. Let's open up the CSS file that we've got, and we're going to go below displays, above sizes, below display settings. Yeah, we're going to do position setting. So absolute, it's going to be position absolute. And we're going to have another one for relative. And it's going to be position relative. Cool. That means I can get rid of this whole thing. Okay, and then class, all of those are just going to be absolutely awesome. My div here, this should have a position of relative. Where is, oh, the canvas we don't need these styles for anymore. Oh yeah, position relative. Okay, background size we don't need anymore. In fact, we don't even need this battle scene class because we're just going to change that with this position relative helper that we have. So we can get rid of that. And then what I need is my background is going to be a, let me see, do I have those helper classes? Width and height full, that's what I want. W full, it's going to be width 100%. So then background is going to have position absolute, width full, height full, and then I'm going to do some custom styles here to say you need to be maximized to the width and the height, but then I also want your object fit to be cover, I think. So if I got that right, as this thing grows, the image should sort of grow with it. So if I grow this, yeah, it looks like the image is moving. And then, yeah, it looks like the image is moving when I do that as well. What was the styles that I had there before? I probably shouldn't have deleted those. Background size cover, that was it. Okay. Object fit cover. So the reason why we're doing this is so that now instead of the main image, in my opinion, the main image, I guess, is the background image. Instead of the main image being use as a background image, we actually get it here in the DOM. And having it in the DOM gives us a lot of benefits. For one, we can determine how it's going to load with like lazy loading if we wanted to. We probably don't because it's the first thing you want to see on the page. We could decide like if we had different sizes of these images, we could use source set attributes to determine like at very large screens, we can download a very large image. At smaller screens, we can tell the browser to only download the smallest version of that image. I think ours, it probably is not going to matter because it's like, it's actually kind of okay that it's all pixelated because it's Pokemon, so it's a game. Kind of goes with the vibe. But if these were like, uh, for the sake of learning, if these were high quality images or what's the word I'm looking for? High resolution images, then those might be very large in size, physical size, but also like downloading size. So yeah, just being responsible of how we add resources onto the page is cool, and having image tags in the DOM. Here's the actual lesson: having image tags in the DOM gives us a little bit more control over that. That's only something that we could do recently with this object fit sort of CSS rule. Okay, next thing's next. Is this loading properly? I feel like I'm supposed to have some padding over here on the right that I'm not actually seeing. Yeah, my application is like the image is breaking out of the application's shell. So I broke something. And I need to plug my mouse in. Let's unplug that. Give me one moment. Boop, 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 boop. How are we feeling about the music? I feel like we're back on lo-fi. I'm not a lo-fi kind of guy. All right. I think I'm going to go... I'm going to go back to... I know where I'm going. I'm going here. Yeah, right. This will do. All right, I could always go back to chiptunes and just be satisfied. All right, so where are we here? We've got our div. Inside of here, we have our position relative little dude who's the correct width and height. I think what's happening here is, yeah, my app is, my body's not growing. Yeah, overflow hidden would kind of work, but that's not what I want. This stuff gets so annoying. Maybe if this wasn't flex. Well, yeah, but then that's like not quite right either. Let's see. If I go wider than the width of the browser, we get that scroll bar, and the main element is still only as wide as the browser. It's probably not a big deal. I'll deal with that some other time. Okay, so let's see. Next thing's next is I've got my little presets. Now I want to work on the day and night sort of interaction. Okay, cool. The other cool thing is because we have no alt text here anymore, we're not seeing that little like opponent text that was up here. So we can see if I put it in now, we do see the image. That's great. Okay, let's start working on the day and night sort of stuff. And this is going to be kind of annoying because I should probably do this stuff off the stream, but I need to grab all of these backgrounds here, which is really annoying. But we got to do what we got to do. We'll do at least like 3 of them so we can swap between some of them and I can figure out the logic at least. Let's go with edit.photo. And I don't even know if this is like the right tool for the job, but it works pretty well. Works well enough. Let me see. Can I just like drag it onto here? Nope. But I can. What I can do is reveal in File Explorer and then drag it onto there. Okay, let's see. Zoom, 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 zoom. Drag, 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 drag. I'm going to take one grass, one mountain, and then one water, I think. Awesome versus JS. Yeah, sorry, I've been missing. Got to catch back up on the chats. This is happening, people. This is happening today. This is going to get cool, I think. I hope. Now, what am I doing? Self-doubt talk. This is going to be freaking awesome. No more self-doubt. I don't have enough time in my life for that nonsense. Okay, all right. Let's get down just a little bit. Come on. God, I hate when it does that. I need to scroll up and zoom out just a little bit. And every time I do that, it gets got to redo dragging it just right. Okay, good enough. Let's export that. Okay, you guys want to see something cool? Or you guys want to know something cool? Let's go JPEG, yeah. There is this tool. Yeah, okay, let me do this really quick. What was this one called? Let's see. We're going to call it background mountain day. .jpeg, cool. You want to see something cool? You all should add this little GitHub Marketplace app to your projects. I don't know how much the cost is, but if you have open source repos, looks like unlimited public repos, unlimited users, super cool. What this thing will do is when you go to, let me see. Let's see if I can do this kind of an easy way. Drag this over, drag this in here. Cool, that worked. When you add projects or images to your repos, ImageBot, when it gets into GitHub, ImageBot will make a PR that will optimize those images for you. So all those times that Tiny, what's Tiny? Tiny? I don't know what you're talking about. Are you calling me Tiny? ImageBot, IMGBot will make a pull request that optimizes all of those images for you. So I was using Tiny PNG before, which works fine enough, but it's like manual. And this process lets me do it automatically. So let's move that. Let's change this from background to just PG. That's going to break our application. And then we're going to do something kind of cool here. We're going to go to our app, and we're going to say inside of these forms, which, by the way, I think I fixed this little issue. If we add the class there, I should probably be able to get rid of these divs. Looks like that's working correctly. Cool. So clean this up a little bit, move this class. Did you ever build something that you just love working with? That's utensils for me. Get rid of that. Could probably just go to each of these, boop, and then boop, and then dirt, 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 and copy all this. Doot. Cool. So what I want to do is I'm going to, well, first fix that image, right? The preview should no longer be background. It should be BG. Make sure our app is still working. Cool. Yep, looks good. So we need to change the time of day and the location. So I have a select thing here. So we're going to copy this a few times and say the width and height is fine. Then here you'll have some settings for, well, oops. Here you'll have some settings for the background that you want. So one of them is going to be the background, and one of them is going to be the time of day. So it'll be like morning, afternoon, evening, I guess. What have we got? We've got day, afternoon, night. So yeah, day, afternoon, night, and then we'll have all of these different locations as well. And I think eventually I actually want to cut out these resources because I think I like these ones better. And then we'll get these ones. Maybe we'll get to these today. That'll be cool. Okay, so let's get the foundation for these location and time of day settings. So label is going to be location. Name is going to be location. Type is going to be select. And I need to create some data mapping here. We're going to do height. Location is going to be set to day, I think. Or no, it's going to be grass. And time of day is going to be day. It's almost like GitHub Copilot is like listening to me. Like sometimes the way it guesses is actually scary, and I'm like, that's a bit too spot on. Okay, so we've got our presets. I don't need you. Don't need you guys. That's from earlier. Nothing. Didn't miss anything with that. This is looking good. I think I want to create another couple of sets for what location and time of day can be. We're going to say const locations is going to be a new set of day. No, that's location. Let's say grass. Grass, sand, desert, mountain, forest. Sure. Man, is it reading it from here? There's no way it got all of these. Ocean, mountain, grass, forest, caves, snow, and indoor. Okay, let's go back to our code. I'm going to stick with grass. I guess sand is okay. Sand and desert is kind of the same thing. So I'm going to say ocean, mountain, forest, and then I'm also going to add cave. I like that one. Okay, those are my locations. And then const, times. Yeah, it can be day, afternoon, and night. And one thing I'm going to point out here is that it's kind of cool that I'm doing everything with single words, because if I had to use multiple words, then I'd have to think about, okay, well, when I show these to the user, I probably don't want to default to lowercase. Like I'm probably going to want to capitalize these. Because these are all one word, it's easy enough for me to do that as a string, grab the first letter, capitalize that, and then print out the rest of the word as it comes. If I wanted to support lowercase or like 2 words, I may want to do something like this with an object and say this first one is going to be keys, grass, and like text is uppercase grass. And the reason why this matters is because, yeah, for the key, I might want to do camel case. And then for like grass, you can't really do like grassland. I don't know. Just thinking about sharing my thoughts as I type this out. I'm actually thinking that might be a good idea because if I create everything based on this logic here, and I decide later on that I want to support two multiple words, I'm gonna have to change some code, and that might it's harder to do a rewrite than it is to build something new. So let's maybe do that actually. So instead of a set, let's do const locations is going to be a new map. It's going to be an array inside of which there's going to be the key is going to be grass, and the value is going to be uppercase grass. Okay, now GitHub Copilot should do its thing. Sand, ocean, mountain, forest, cave. Perfect, based on my comments. I should be able to do the same here and say const times. Hey, it did it for me. That's great. Okay, so now I've got my data points. Location is going to start as grass. Time of day is going to start as day. And as I get down here, let's see. So I want, how do I want to do this? Location. I'm going to do something. I hope you guys don't mind me getting a little bit more technical than I need to, like over engineering this, but I want this to be sort of like TypeScripty. So right now, locations, the type is a map of string. I would like it to be a map where each of these is like explicitly defined for me, so that when I set the location here, instead of it being a type of string, I can say, hey, it's one of the keys of this location. It's going to be super unnecessary, but I'm going to do it anyway. So this is going to be location entries, and we're going to say const location entries equals. This is where actual TypeScript does a better job, but I like to use JS docs, and this is one of the sort of not so great times of using JS docs. But in line, I have to say type, set this to const, open up a parentheses, and then put my stuff in there. Pretty ugly, but it gets the job done. And that means that location entries is now these read-only types, and locations is no longer a type of string, but it's a type of grass, sand, ocean, mountain, forest, cave, comma, grass, sand, ocean, mountain, forest, cave. Hopefully that's, understandable and okay with y'all. We're going to do the same thing here. Time entries, these. We're going to paste that, and we're going to copy that whole part, paste it there, copy that, paste it there, and close that off. Cool. Now we've got our time entries, we've got our times, we've got our location entries. I think I'm actually going to move these up so that they're right next to each other. Looks nicer to me. And now we can say, hey, location. Question before you have to go. That is a bit unrelated. Why is sending data as JSON to APIs bad? I'm writing a blog post about this. And since y'all are on the show, I'm going to give you the sneak peek. Is sending JSON to APIs itself isn't bad, but there's sort of two sides to this. There's a front end side and there's a back end side. If you rely only on JSON as your data object, that means the only way to create that data is to use JavaScript. So in order to create JSON, the only way to do that on the front end is JSON.stringify some object. The problem with relying entirely on JavaScript is there's like 20 different ways that JavaScript can fail. And it doesn't necessarily mean the user is blocking JavaScript, but could be user has JavaScript just disabled in their browser. The user is using some fancy browser that doesn't enable JavaScript. The user has some ad blocking extension that blocks JavaScript or blocks some of the scripts that are running on the page. Some of your JavaScript code has like an error in it because maybe you're using newer syntax that the current browser doesn't understand. Maybe you accidentally introduce some, type of whatever is undefined error into your JavaScript. So all of these reasons that JavaScript could fail, which means that if you're trying to send an API request that is like the most important thing for your application to do, take a payment, sign a user up, I don't know, order pizza, whatever. If that's the most important thing, you want that to be resilient. So whether JavaScript fails or not, you kind of want that request to go through. So the alternative is to use something like HTML. HTML has forms built in. We're using them, obviously. And if you rely on HTML forms, the native browser platform native data is it sends data as URL form encoded, like www. I don't know. I forget the content type, but it kind of looks like a string with key equals value, ampersand, key equals value, ampersand, key equals value. If you send data like that, even if JavaScript fails for all of those reasons that it could, your HTML form is still going to work. Problem with using just HTML forms is they're kind of janky and outdated because once you hit submit and the browser does the whole page refreshes, it's not a great user experience. So you can actually kind of marry the two and get the best of both without much downsides. If you create an HTML form in order to create your data as you want, and then on submit, you intercept that event, use JavaScript, don't turn the data into JSON, just leave it sort of as it is, as the browser, the same as the browser would actually send it, and then use JavaScript to send the data. So now instead of sending data as JSON, you're sending it as the browser primitive sort of data format. And then it also requires on the back end some logic to be able to understand that maybe you're sending JSON, maybe you're not, or maybe you're requesting a certain type or whatever. So, my advice is not that you shouldn't use JSON necessarily, but that if you're a backend developer, you should build your backend such that it accepts both JSON and native HTML data type. I forget what it's called. And if you're a front-end developer, you should build your application such that if JavaScript's enabled, sure, you want to turn it into JSON and send it that way. Although you're actually doing more work than you need to, because you could just send it as a form data. And then that way, if your JavaScript fails, the browser can fall back to a native form submission that actually sends it and it works. Keep an eye out on my Twitter, or if you sign up for the newsletter. Newsletters, people are going to be the first ones that get the notification. But that blog post is almost done. I think it's 2,500 words right now. So it's pretty in depth, but it'll be a good one. Yeah, of course. I'm happy to answer those kinds of questions. Sorry, I was kind of ignoring the chat today because I was on my thing, but yeah, that's what I want this series to be. I want to build cool and interesting stuff, but the main thing is if people want to come by and have questions and we don't even write any code, that's cool too. want to share knowledge, you know? So I know you got to go, Kotin. Thanks for coming by the chat. Always a pleasure to have you here. And Brent, we're going to keep rolling because this thing is going to get freaking cool. We're going to do some cool stuff today. At least stuff I think is cool. Hashtag stream life. Okay, where are we? We're doing some TypeScripty stuff. So right now, this data will accept any sort of string for location, which means if we accidentally update this, nice, yeah. If we update this with something like poop, right? That's not really going to be valid because we're going to be pulling the location information from, like, it should map to one of these types. Actually, maybe this will make more sense if I get the, yeah, I'm going to get the functionality going and then come back, circle back on this. So don't let me forget. Okay. Image preview. Where am I doing image preview? That should probably be a string. So we're going to set that as an empty string to begin with. And then time of day, location. Okay, so the location, we're going down to the location here. We have update size. This is going to set, this is, this might actually, this is going to be cool. Instead of updating location and time of day and all that, I'm going to set this value that says update data. And what update data is going to do is it's going to take that change event from, from some of my inputs, and it's going to update the corresponding thing based on the name. So update data. What we have here is we're setting the value to number. So that's going to break here in a minute. So I'm going to say I need the input type. So input is that, name is that, const type is equal to input.type. And then the value, if the type equals number, then that's going to be the input. No, I think we're going to do this. Value is just going to be input value. Name, oops. Name, value, type, min, whatever. And I think I'm going to cut this out because this might get kind of long. So min is now going to be input.min. That's fine. We'll get rid of that. We'll keep the type. We'll keep the value. And then we'll say, what were you trying to tell me? I'm always curious to see. Value equals input.checked, I guess, but that's not what I want right now. If the type equals number, the value, yeah, parse int. I don't think I want that. See, that's where GitHub Copilot is actually really wrong, because parse int will take the number, the input value, and turn it into an integer. But if I had like a decimal place, the decimal would be gone. So GitHub Copilot, not cool. Number is not assignable to type string. Or value. Yep, that's because it thinks it's a string. That could be a string or a number. Okay. And then this is complaining because this is supposed to be a number. I think we can do this. There we go. A little bit of checking. So if the type is number, we'll do that. So here we're doing some logic that says kind of massages the data before we store it into our little place here. Now, my location should, in theory, when I change this location event, I should get the location keys. I should be able to update data with the event. And when I get the new key, that should go and update the data. Let's say the new key is the value is going to be, what do I have? Mountain. Then the value here should be mountain, which means it sets the name of location to the value of mountain. Let's see if I got that right. Location, sand, location, yeah, grass, mountain, whatever. So what I need to do is location starts with grass. I need to create a model here. So v model is going to be data.location so that it starts as grass. And then somewhere on my page, let's say down below the form, kind of at the bottom of the form, I'm going to show the data.location. Okay, so data location is grass. If I change this to sand, hopefully that changes. Yes, it does. Forest, mountain. Great. Okay, now there's one more thing that I need to do here. That is modify the actual options that I want, because I spent all that time talking about showing how this could be uppercase or lowercase, and I'm not actually doing that. So here we're creating an array where the location keys, or where we're just grabbing the location keys. What I actually want is to like map over these. This is not, okay. This is where I need a computed property, I think. So let's say that I've got my data, I've got my locations, I've got my const. No, I think I can do this a little bit maybe easier. The locations, I think no, I need to create a custom thing. That's kind of annoying. Because Vutensils, the way Vutensils works is I can go to my input. Where is it? Input. And then, no, options. Options can be either like an array of basic values, or I guess I don't have an example of that. Or it can be like key value pairs. So easiest way I'm going to do this. I need to make my documentation a little better. Let's see. Options. Computed options is going to have a label, a value, and whether it's checked. So label and value is what I'm interested in. So I need to create an array of objects where I can do something like this. Label is going to be lowercase yo. Value, or label is going to be like yo, but the value is going to be just lowercase yo. So if we do that, we can see that the location is showing that option of uppercase yo, but the actual value of it is this lowercase yo. So I need to recreate an array that matches this. And it probably would have been just easier if I used an object, to be honest. I wonder, man, it would also have been good if I just like made it would have been good if I made this tool be able to accept just an object like yo of yo. I don't think I do have it set up like that, do I? Nope. Just throws an error. Okay, maybe someday. So we need an array of objects. So I'm going to take this. And what can I do here? Can arrays take iterables? New array from a new map. 1, 1. Not new array. I want array dot from. That's what I want. Okay, cool. I got it figured out. This is going to be array dot from entries, and then fortunately, my location or maps have location. Well, shit. I guess location entries would have worked. But then why do I even need the map? Do I even need the map? Let's see. Let's do it the way I'm thinking. From entries does not exist on type array constructor. Oh, it does it not? Array dot from. No, it doesn't. Duh. But let's see. Array dot from location entries should work. But I'm going to say this is going to be locations dot entries. A little bit of back and forth there. That might be all right though. Let's reload that. We have an issue. Execute set attribute on element 0 is not a valid attribute name. Okay, I guess that's not going to work. Can I not make an array from that? I'm just wasting a bunch of time. You can totally make an array from that. Yeah, first entry, first item should have A and B. Okay, this may just be an issue with computed values. So let's try this. Displayed locations. And we're going to come back up here, do a lot of data massaging. That's going to be our location. Const displayed locations. Fucking hell, I'm not even doing this right, actually. Yeah, sorry. Displayed locations, that's fine. I'm doing this totally wrong. This should be not that. Locations.map, location entries. Oh, we're doing this the long way. I'm definitely over engineering this. We're gonna say locations dot entries. dot map, and then that should give me the key and the value, and that's going to return, instead of the key, I want the value. The value is going to be assigned to the key, and the label is going to be assigned to the value. I'm going to pull this out into not an arrow function, which means that should work. And then I have an error down here because this should be displayed locations, and that's my displayed locations. Okay, fingers crossed. I feel like that should work. That doesn't work. Map entries.map is not a function. Really? Really? All right. I'm gonna crack my knuckles here and get this sorted. New map from, let's say, 1 comma 1. Now let's say a comma a. So I should have a map. Entries should be, oh, it's an iterator. It's not an array. That's why. All right. All right. All right. All right. Simplify that. I don't even know why we're using this locations object anymore, because I like working with maps, but apparently it's not the right thing. So let's just comment that out for now. Okay, we'll keep these as a 2-dimensional array just in case. So then that gives me a question of, if I have an object of a is 1, and I do, what is it? I want the object, and I want dot n. Okay, let's say RO equals an object with a of 1. And I say O dot object dot entries with O is an array. It's not an iterator. Okay. Forget all that. We are going to simplify this again. We're going to say locations. We're going to get rid of all this TypeScript crap. I'm going to go back to the basics and say, let's see, all of these, just going to be commas. All of these are going to be colons. All of these are gone. And this is just an object. Why is that not working? Yep, that's working. Delete that, delete that. Am I missing something? That should be an object. Identifier expected. Ah, that's it. Equal sign, that helps. Okay, that's my locations. And then this is going to be object.entries locations.map. That should still work. Yep, we've got the grass type there. We're looping over that. We're going to do the same thing with this. We can get rid of this, all this crap. We can do this, get rid of those, go back to these commas and replace those and get rid of those. And then come down here and close that off. Okay, same with you. Copy all this. Times is going to be same thing. Locations times. And this is going to be displayed times. Okay, that was a lot of crap, but hopefully it's worth it. Hopefully it's worth it. Okay, this is my displayed times. Boop. This is my time of day. My name is time of, no, wait, what was it? Time of day, which is kind of annoying. This is what I was talking about earlier, is when you're doing multiple words, the recommended syntax is different depending on which language you're in. In JavaScript, camel case. In HTML, kebab case. I'm going to stick with the JavaScript convention here because we're going to be passing this name or pulling this name off of select presets, which is kind of annoying. Kind of annoying that has to be like that. Maybe that was a, what is it? Technical debt that we created today. Anyway, time of day, we're going to start that out as time of day should be day. We should have time of day set up here from times, which means, we're not using the V model. That's what the problem is. We've got the V model here. We need the same thing here. Right under name, type. Move my V model up. I like having that up top. And here, V model is equal data time of day. Looking at our app, we can see that the time of day is selected. Changing it to afternoon or night will work fine. And the select options have value of day, type afternoon, and type night. Great. Okay, now the last thing I want to accomplish today before the end of the stream is to get my little, get what I promised with the change of the background at least. So let's go to the time of day, the width, height, opponent URL. And one thing I'm going to, we do have the display size here. Okay. And one thing I want to do is, let me see if I can make this simple. No, it's fine. We'll have the width and the height. We'll have the location. Nope, that was right. Location is data.location. And time of day is data.time of day. Going to our preview, we need to define those things. Location is a string. Time of day is a string. It's actually not a string. So what I'm going to do here is actually for these two, this will make sense in a moment, but we're going to export these. Export const location, export const time of day. Modifiers cannot appear here. That doesn't make sense. That should work. We'll come back to that in a moment. But we've got our props, and then we have to actually use them. So I need computed. Import computed from Vue. And we're going to say const background URL equals computed, which should take, yep, something like that. This is going to be my URL. This is going to be background URL. We need to turn that into a bound property. And then we're going to say that the location and the time of day is going to come from props. The actual value is going to be something like that. Location and time of day. And then .png. I think that actually should be a JPEG though, if I'm not wrong. Oh, that's annoying. I saved one as one as a PNG and one as a JPEG. I wonder if I can just rename this to PNG and that won't break anything. Looks like it. We'll keep it as a PNG, whatever. So PNG. I could actually make this a little bit more resilient by mapping like the location and the time of day to a value that I know exists, because in this case, whatever location we get, whatever time of day, it could actually break this URL. But we're going to just get this working for now. So I think with that all hooked up, okay, we've got something broken. Image background undefined, undefined. Okay. Let's see what the props.location and props.time of day are. Okay, export console. Okay, I guess it's because I literally can't do that. Oh, it's because, oh, I know what the problem is. It's because it's in this setup function. Okay. Okay. What can I do about that? I think I know what I can do about that, but let's see if things work. Okay, so it's working at least. It is working as intended. And now if we go here and we say, cool, the location is actually going to be mountain. Mountain, time of day is day, afternoon should actually probably break that. I guess it's not going to break it. But okay, mountain, day, PNG. I don't know. But if I go back to grass and I go night, ocean we don't have, sand we don't have, mountain we have. That's so cool. I guess time of day really isn't actually changing, which means I probably have my displayed times are not being modeled correctly. Let's see. Time of day. It's day. Yeah, it looks like it's not actually changing. So what am I doing wrong? Oh, I think I know what might be going wrong. Oh, that's what's going wrong. I'm not updating the data. I have that still set as select preset. There we go. Update data. So cool. So cool. Time of day is afternoon. It's going to be broken. Night should be broken. Day should work. And then grass should work. And that they should all be broken. That is freaking sweet. What do we think about that? I think it's freaking sweet. And we can put in the JS battle once again. This time I'm going to battle JS on the mountain. And let me do one more thing before I end for today. Is we're going to go back to edit.photo. And I'm going to select a different time of day that I want to fight that thing. So let's see, it should be here. Drag that onto there. Oh no. Reveal and File Explorer. There we go. Move this back up here. Get back in here and let's see. What do I want? Any preference from the chat? So we have, I'm going to keep it at mountain. Well, actually, we can pick whatever, but I want to pick a different like time of day as well. Got snowy, caves, forest, grass, mountain, or ocean. What are you thinking, Brent? What's the best time to battle JavaScript? The best time and location. Mountain night. I like it. Camping. We're taking on JavaScript while camping. Is when I battled JS the most. Yeah, that's right. Okay. I should probably find a better editing tool than this, though. I mean, this one's wonderful for simple things, but man, for having to do this like over and over and over, it's kind of killer. Okay, let's do that. Let's export. Let's keep it as a PNG so that's simple. Let's download that. That's going to open over there. I'll save that as, what is it? BG mountain night. .png. We'll minimize the browser so that we can just drag that over here. And then Windows is going to do that weird thing where it generates an extra file for me. No big deal. We'll bring back browser. We'll go up here. And that actually should be all we need to do to get this to work. So we're going to go reload the page, start from scratch. Pretty cool. We're going to get down into the mountains and we're going to go at night. And that's so freaking cool. Okay, I'm just missing, I'm still missing one thing, and that is these things over here. So let's see, that's night, that's day, afternoon. I need a night one, and I think field, grass, water, snow, sand. I think that's going to be sand. It's going to correspond with the mountains. Really? There's not water, afternoon, grass, field. I think we'll do the field one. That looks good. And so I need to cut both of these out. Needs to be absolutely perfect. No, it really doesn't. Okay, let's export that, download that, and this is going to now, the naming is going to be important too. I think I was calling these foreground and midground, so let's call it foreground mountain night. And then we need another one. Whoop. Oh, snaps. If I just leave it the same, I can actually... Dang. All right. That's a game changer. I'm going to do that when I come or off the stream, but I can just drag this around once it's the right size. And I'm glad there's no Photoshop experts watching this because they'll probably be screaming at me right now. Okay, cool. Good enough. We'll export that, download that as midground mountain night. And then I can pull that off to the side. I can pull that over here. Oh, I named them kind of wrong. Sand foreground. Well, yeah, I'm going to need to rename those. And midground, foreground. Okay. So pull that back, come back to my editor. I can see both of these. I can delete both of those. And then I'm going to rename this one to foreground sand. What do I have? Desert? Dot dash day. What do I have? Where's my code? I've got grass. Sand. I guess I just got sand. Okay, sand is fine. Where is it? Midground, foreground, mountain, foreground. This one. Sand. Sand day, and then this one should be midground, sand, day. Paste that. Cool. So we've got background grass day, background mountain day, background mountain night, foreground mountain, foreground sand, midground mountain, midground sand, day, and mountain night. That's a lot to remember. Man, something else I could actually do is probably make my life easier and maybe do just some filters so that the day and night like just gets darker and lighter. But probably this is the better way to do it, actually. Then you get a little bit of other stuff going on. Field or snow, yeah. Wind shift S. What is wind shift? Oh, the screenshot tool, right? Yeah. The problem with that is it won't be a PNG, and I need a PNG for these. I don't know if that's what you were talking about, but okay. What am I doing? Let's get rid of that. Right. I need to go to my presets now. So let's close that, close that, close that. My preview. Now these are static values and they need to become dynamic values, where this is going to be the background URL. This is going to be the midground URL, and this is going to be the we're just going to do foreground URL, and this will be midground URL. Okay, we've got these. I'm going to change this to URLs, and it's going to return an object with background. And this is going to be boop, 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 background, foreground, and midground. So background, midground, foreground, and then URLs down here should be, man, is my control key not working? Oh, Alt, there you go. Should be URLs dot whatever, background. This should be midground. This should be foreground. Let's hit save and see what we've got. Right, that makes sense because, yep, I didn't modify these. So this should be midground. This should be midground, and this should be foreground. I don't know why I'm spelling them out here and not here. Okay, we've got some 404s because we have, what do we got? Midground grass day. And that's because these were sand. So what I'm going to do is copy this sand one and just rename it so that we at least have something. So this would be grass day, and then foreground is going to be grass day. So with that, reload. We've got our grass foreground and background, and then we can go to the mountain, and we don't have those because we don't have the day ones. So let's say mountain. We're also going to copy that. Foreground is mountain, and then midground grass day. This is a really good way for me to lose track of what actually still needs to be done, but that's okay. As long as it looks the part. Reload. We've got our images for the grass day. We've got our images for the mountain day, and we've got our different images for mountain night. Yes. Super cool. And then we can choose our opponent. And I think oh man, I have so much work to do with the sprites too. So this is a couple things here. A couple of thoughts that I have here is I don't need two separate files for these images, the foreground and the midground, because I think I could technically probably use the same one. Where are we? Yeah, I could probably just use the same one and just like double the size, right? So make the size larger and just put it off screen. So that would save me that would improve the performance because we're using the same image instead of two separate images. That would also make my life easier, so I don't have to manage a bunch of them. And then the other thing I could do is I could put all of these images onto a single sprite sheet, which is probably why, it's why these are built like this. So that then you can just have one image that you download and you can just position that image. You can tell the image what size it needs to be and position it, like offset it correctly. That may be easier said than done. And I like the benefit of having these as individual images. So that's probably not what I will do. I probably won't do that second idea. I probably will do the first idea so I don't have double the amount of image or an extra image than I need for each one of these. Yeah, and I think I will consider I'm going to consider doing a hue rotate on these. Instead of doing different images, I might just rotate the hue and darken it so that it does affect day and night, but we shall see. Anyway, that's as far as I'm going to get today. Any comments, questions, thoughts? Yelling at me for doing something wrong or stupid? Happy to take the first two. Don't really want to hear the last one. But I need to generate this image because it is freaking sweet. No? Nothing? All right. In that case, I'm probably going to take off, say sayonara, and check in with you tomorrow. Let's see if there's anyone on that I would be interested in rating. Oh, there's two people that I like. Let's go with Splashly. Let's go back. Splashly. Booyah!